Popeye from FederalJack.com. Don't miss my show, Down the Rabbit Hole, Wednesday and Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, on the Orion Talk Radio Network. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. Commercial cut in on me there. Anyway, before we went to break, I was saying that we need a class action lawsuit against YouTube, but I was serious. And I'm not saying it because of me. I'm saying it because it's the truth. We need a class action lawsuit to stop them from doing what they're doing, because they're just running roughshod all over the Constitution and the Fair Use Act. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't load anything up to YouTube anymore with an audio clip or a video clip in it without the video clips. There's certain tricks you can do to try not to get the computer to match it, because remember, it's not a human being that's matching it unless someone files a copyright complaint on it. When you first upload it and it's just processing, it runs it past YouTube's got a database of all the videos, and it runs it through its database, and if it matches, it gets flagged. Well, it checks for sound and it checks for video. The video, you can mirror the video, you could flip it and stuff, and it won't match up to the stuff that's in the database. So with the video, you can get away with that. But the audio, you're always screwed. Audio is audio. And I mean, I've seen people change it, but unless you pretty much remix an entire song, they'll nail you for copyright. And it's ridiculous. I've seen, dude, I saw them file against Jones once or against me on a video that I uploaded from Alex Jones, and I had his permission, because I've spoken with Alex Jones. I've gotten his explicit permission to do whatever I want with any of his videos, his audio, his articles, anything. Okay? He told me I could reuse them. I have his permission, so there. So I know I have his permission, and yet YouTube tried to file a copyright complaint against the video that was uploaded, and it wasn't even him that filed it. It was a third party. So you have fictitious, these fake accounts not only being trolls and downvoting videos and other stuff like that, but now you have people literally filing false copyright complaints on other people. That's not even their work. Now, of course, if they find out that they made a false copyright, technically they're supposed to get in trouble. Their account is, we'll get rid of your account. You'll be banned from YouTube, possible legal action. But you know that they're just saying that because it's their own people that are doing it. Google is part of the NSA. So you know that there's some little government stooge that's doing it. You know he's not going to go after them. Case in point, Lady Gaga, okay? Lady Gaga, her YouTube account has had multiple copyright infringements against it. The Lady Gaga YouTube account, not the Vivo account, but the Vivo is the one that they play all the music videos from all these people and everything. But Lady Gaga has had her own YouTube account forever. She uploaded a video of her own show, her own stuff, and they hit it on copyright grounds. And they removed it, and then they suspended her channel. All her little retards were up in arms. It was a trending topic on Twitter, and people were freaking out on Facebook, and everybody and their mother was trying to get in touch with YouTube, and literally millions of people were complaining any way they could to YouTube, Google. They were bad-mouthing them on Facebook and YouTube, and within hours, her YouTube channel got put back up. None of mine ever got put back up. I don't see anybody throwing a hissy fit about that. I don't see anybody throwing a hissy fit about Mox News having 2 channels taken down completely before the big one he's got now. He had one that used to be called C-SPAN Junkie. He had every Ron Paul video you could possibly want on his channel, and they went after him. And C-SPAN told YouTube to make him change the name because it said C-SPAN Junkie. So what? Well, it says C-SPAN in the name. So what? So what it says C-SPAN in the name? Who cares? That's paid for with public money. They still went after him for copyright. And you have, of course, the YouTube, the Great Purge of YouTube of 2008. I don't know if anybody remembers that. That's when all the Ron Paul videos, my first channel, the biggest one we had at the time, it had over, it was close to like 4 million views. We had well over, I would say, probably like 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers to it. It was probably equal, if not a little bit bigger, than Federal Jack Tube 3. It was the original federaljack.com YouTube account. And that was the purge of 2008, some of us called it. I mean, they wiped everybody. They wiped out truthers that were on there for years. 9/11 videos, videos about the New World Order, Ron Paul videos. That's when I got the idea to start backing everything up onto the hard drives that I have. You know, and then I sell the loaded hard drives on federaljack.com. You go there. I have hard drives that are filled with 2 terabytes, over 16,000 video files that I've ripped from YouTube. And then, you know, like, there's over 300 full-length truth movies on there. The only thing you're paying for when you buy them, by the way, is the hard drive and the shipping and everything. I don't charge for content or anything like that. I just have to, 2 terabyte drives are not cheap. So you have to recoup the money for it. But anyway, the whole idea was to get the information out there because I foresaw what was going on. I foresaw what YouTube was doing. And they just literally purged everything like it wasn't even there. You know, in my interview with Judith Vary Baker, which, by the way, you guys will hear Sunday, it's going to air 5 to 7, an exclusive interview with Lee Harvey Oswald's girlfriend. She was a cancer researcher. Some of the stuff that you're going to hear will blow your mind. Everybody and their mother should hear it. So the interview will be broadcast on the network Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. If you want to check it out early, you can go see it. It's on federaljack.com. You can see it. There's an image for it in the slider right out the top there. You just click the left arrow, and it's a couple clicks over. And you can listen to the interview there, or you can wait till Sunday, and you'll hear it broadcast on the airwaves all throughout the world. But even in there, she touches on that, the fact that YouTube has ripped a lot of stuff down. And not even just YouTube, but the internet in general. She was talking about the death of Roger Craig and George de Mohrenschildt, 2 people that were connected to the JFK assassination and cover-up. And Craig he was a witness to the shooting that day, and a lot of his testimony and stuff didn't coincide with what the Warren Commission wanted, and they ended up finding him dead with a shotgun wound to the back of his head. And because that's normally how you kill yourself, is you hold the shotgun behind your head and pull the trigger. And a guy by the name of George de Mohrenschildt, same way. And Judith was talking about how in the background they actually caught on tape. You hear George de Mohrenschildt, because I guess they had his place bugged, and you hear George de Mohrenschildt when George de Mohrenschildt shoots him, well, quote unquote, when he supposedly shoots himself. In the background, you hear beep, beep, beep. Well, that beep, beep, beep is the intruder alarm inside his apartment or his house or whatever it was when they found whatever the kind of domicile it was that they found dead, but it was his intruder alarm. So that just shows you that somebody had broken in, but let's not pay attention to that. Anyway, in that there's a little blurb where there's 2 separate things. One of them is the interview, and the other one is this little blurb where she talks about George de Mohrenschildt and she and Roger Craig, and she explains flat out that, you know, a lot of the stuff that she knows that was on the internet with, you know, just referencing to the JFK assassination is gone. So there's an outsider's perspective saying that she knows that a lot of information, not just on YouTube, but across the net itself. That's why it's so important, guys. Like, Federal Jack is a repository of information. That's why I paste the articles and the links and stuff I do, because a lot of the stuff I post, it's there in case these websites go down. At least we still have a copy of it. And I'm working on making a huge downloadable file so that you guys can at least get all the text and articles and stuff from Federal Jack in case the worst ever happens. You guys can at least have a text backup of all the articles. We're working on that too, so stand by. You got to go to break and pay some bills. We'll be right back. Go check out my website, federaljack.com. They plot, they fund, they act, it's real. They watch, they hunt, they punish and kill.